Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. I here on Friday. I meant to put it up ahead of time to tell you guys that it was there, and totally forgot. Sorry about that. But yes, we are here for a live stream today, and it's a holiday weekend. 3 days off. I don't know how many of you are off on Memorial Day. Probably not people that are in the United States. But I bet a lot of you are in the United States. And my plan is to garden. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lights. So garden all the time. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. I forgot to turn on lights. This one's so bright though over here. Like so bright. When I'm doing live streams and stuff, I got to turn it way down. When I'm filming, I can do it for just 5 minutes, but it's like super bright the one side. Anyways, I plan on gardening and doing some writing and stuff like that over the 3-day weekend. I'm pretty excited because I'm not going to work. My clients think I'm away, so I won't tell them the truth. Um, just getting the yard put back together. We're putting a pool, so it's just all torn up. The pool's about 6 weeks away, maybe, but we live in Florida and it's 12 billion degrees here. So you definitely need that. We were going to move and buy a house with a pool, but the interest rates are crazy. So instead, we decided to put one in. And it's in process. It'll be a while, but my yard is a disaster. And I haven't had a lot of time to weed or garden or anything because I've been working so much. I did just get back from Sleuth Fest. I went there last weekend. It was in St. Petersburg, really close to me. So that was awesome. It was really, really good. I got to meet Lisa Unger and Catherine Ramsland. I already knew Catherine and Kate White. I've met Kate once before, I think. I never met Lisa, which is really weird because she doesn't live that far from me. But it seems like every time she has an event here, I'm out of town and I'm missing it. So hopefully for her next one, I'll be able to be there. Um, yeah, I got to meet all them and buy a ridiculous amount of books. I wish I could have gone for all days, all 3 days, because Michael Carrito was there too, and he's one of my top favorite authors. But I just couldn't make it work with my schedule. Nice to see you, Jenny. And yes, hello. Yes, the pool will be very nice. It's like necessary in Florida. Even today, I think it was 92 or something today. It's been super hot and it's only May. Um, Otherwise, we just stay in the house and watch TV because, like, what you're not going to go outside. It is so ridiculously hot, and it's cheaper in the long run than renting places with the kids to go and swim and stuff. So hopefully, our kids will come over more often, and my grandkid and stuff. So there's a big family plan for it, and I'm looking forward to it. Um, so Sleuth Fest, I learned a ton of things, and I think I'm going to do a video on like the top 7 things I learned because Kate White did a great interview with Lisa Unger that I wish I just recorded because I took so many notes from it. And one of the things that Lisa Unger talked about for how she gets so many books written is she uses the stuff that she learned in the deep work book. And so I downloaded it on audio to read on audio, and it is insanely boring. I don't know if it's just that I am too ADHD to pay attention to it or what, but I'm like skipping chapters. I'm like, just tell me what to do. I don't need all the science behind it. Just tell me what to do. And Cheryl, that's nice. Just mostly a couple days in the 80s. That would be awesome. It has been over 80 here for about 3 weeks, I think, and it's supposed to get even worse over the weekend. They're saying our summer's going to be closer to 100 like it was. We had a couple days that were pretty high last year. Actually, a lot of days that were pretty high last year. So it's just been super, super hot. And running and all of that is really difficult in the summertime here. So it'd be great to have another option for working out besides just running. Nice to see you, Silver Ollie. Hello, how are you? And yeah, sorry, I did not remember to put this up ahead of time. I did it like 3 minutes before. It just said, here we go. We're going to do a live. Still haven't figured out how to get the timer to work. I thought it every Friday when when go to put this up. And then I'm like, oh crap, I don't have enough time to learn how to do it. So I haven't got the timer to work. It's on my list of things that I should probably remember more often. Jenny has a great question. How do you begin your book projects? I just have some kind of a what if idea and I just start writing. I don't always necessarily start with the first scene. Sometimes I just start with a character that I really like that I think is going to be in the book. I'll write 1 or 2 chapters just to get to know these people, sometimes as many as 3. And then I go back and kind of figure out what the plot is going to be, why they're here, how it's going to go along, all of that kind of stuff. and 55 in the UK Silver Ollie. That's awesome. So much better. Because I'm sitting here, I'm sweating to death right here. I'm inside the house, and I think our AC set at like 77. But the sun coming in through the window in my office and stuff, both of the windows, is just ridiculous in the afternoon. How do I flesh my ideas out? So once I let them, I write and just let these characters kind of come to life a little bit on the page. Then I start going back and applying all of the things that I talk about in the videos. I don't necessarily use the handouts that I've created for you guys. That's what I used to do way back in the beginning when I first started writing. But what I'll do is ask myself why this person is in this situation, how they caused it, and why it is such a nightmare to them. And then I start thinking about what's the worst possible thing that could happen to them and just start creating that. It's harder to explain how I do it nowadays because so much of it happens in the back of my head when I'm not writing and I'm just doing other things. It just kind of percolates back there. And then when I get to the page, it sort of happens. But I can tell you that, like, right now I'm on chapter 5, I think, of a book that I'm working on. And I know where I need to get in the next 10,000 words, which is a lot more than one chapter, and I'm kind of stuck. Like, what are they going to do next? So that's when I've got to go back and look at how they screwed things up in the scene before and think, okay, how can I go left instead of right? And sometimes I just need that time to just think. Um, and brilliant, I don't know about brilliant. I never feel brilliant. You guys have seen those little shorts. I'm always thinking, you're an idiot. Why would you do that? Why can't you write as well as the stuff that you read? Like I just read The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. It was really good. I didn't like it as much as Confessions on the 745 and Last Girl Ghosted, but I liked it a lot. So it was good. I've got next up is Scott. Um, I can't remember Michael Carita's pen name. Scott Carson. His pen name is Scott Carson, and it's Lost Man's Lane. It's a huge book. I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to it since I read The Chill. So that was one of the ones that I picked up at Sleuthfest. I am going to BoucherCon. I don't know if any of you guys are going. It's in September. It's in New Orleans, which the food, if I could go just for the food, I would. I'm really excited to go and go to another writing conference. I have forgotten how much I missed them until I went to one. And then I was like, this is why I love these things so much. Okay, so today's little prompt is about character fears because I thought that would be good, especially where I just read a book that was kind of a scary book. And Cheryl, we're doing a lot more reading than writing. Haven't written a word in 4 weeks. I get that. I go through periods where I don't write, even though they say you should write every single day without fail all the time. I go through periods where I get kind of burned out or I don't really have a direction that I want to go in and I just read and read and read and read. And I'll read a ton of books in that time. And especially when I go on vacation. I usually do not write when I go on vacation. I usually bring like 10 or 11 books. And I'm old school, like I like paper books, so I'm packing them. So Karen Slaughter's books. I have read some of Karen Slaughter's, Jenny. I haven't read one in a little while. I saw one come up, and I don't think I picked it up. I saw it come up, and it might be saved on my Amazon wish list, but I haven't read anything in a while from her. I do really like her books that I read before. It was probably it's almost probably 2 or 3 years ago. I'm trying to discover as many of the new authors out there that are in my space that I'm trying to move into as I can. So, as many people in suspense and thriller and everything in that space to just really see what other people are doing and how they're making books that are really making a mark on the marketplace. So, trying to read diversely among different authors and kind of figure out what they're doing that I should be doing. So, I'm always trying to learn from other authors because there's so much you can learn from how they do things. And just like Lisa's book, the very beginning, I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. I like how she did this. And I meant to analyze it as I went through it, but I got so swept up in the story that I got to like chapter 7 and said, oh, I forgot to analyze any of it. So I might have to read it a second time just to analyze it. Anyhow, let's do our first 15-minute sprint because I'm super excited to get to writing. If you see my short from today, I tried to write and my husband interrupted. I know Cheryl saw it because she commented, but yeah, my husband, I love him. But, it happens. Life happens. Yesterday was the neighbors. Today was my husband. All right, let's go to the sprint. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. was a quick 15 minutes. But I did get started on the next scene. Still have no idea what's going to happen in there. But I think I'll figure it out over the course of this set of sprints today. And Jenny, I think that's the one that I actually have on my list on Amazon to buy. So I buy a lot of books. Like I try not to even tell my husband how many books I buy. I do donate a lot of them back to the library where my mother-in-law lives, but I have just as many that I just keep because I love them so much. So my the newest one that I just read is Lisa Unger, but my favorite recent one is The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. This was amazingly well written, and it's based on a true story. I really, really loved it. And I have a couple more books of hers on my stack to read in the near future. So looking forward to that. She took like a real historical story and gave it just a great spin. So it was awesome. If you're into historicals, highly recommend it. It was really good. I like historicals in general. I just read Kelly Rimmer's, what was it? The Things We Cannot Say, and I thought that was pretty good. I did read another book that I won't give the title out of, but the first three chapters, it was so obvious that the author had sold on proposal because the first three chapters, the excerpt, everything that's on Amazon was just awesome. It was really, really powerfully written, really strong, really great. And then I got like past the middle and it just kind of fell apart. And the hero, it was a romantic storyline underneath the mystery. And the hero was just like a child. He was very whiny. I couldn't stand him. And I literally just skipped to the end to figure out how this mystery was solved. But Jenny, 5 words and Silver Alley 137. Hey, sometimes that's all you get is 5 words. And that's five more that you didn't have before. So it's always a good thing to get some words down on the page. I say a lot that once you have them on the page, you can work with them. Did anybody do the character's biggest fear and what that came up with for them? And Cheryl reread pages. Yeah, especially if you haven't written in a few weeks, you're definitely going to need to kind of reread to get back into it. I do that a lot and I just kind of buff and tweak and see where I went and what I need to do next. And Jenny just ended up deleting words and scenes. Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? It's really hard to let them go because you're like, I worked so hard on this. And Cheryl, yes, The Frozen River was awesome. Really best, one of the best historicals I've ever read. I really, really loved it. It was so well done. I recommend it to everybody. And I told my mother-in-law I'll bring it to her, but she has to give it back. So I'm probably gonna have to put some kind of a label on it, like don't give this away, give it back to Shirley, because it's definitely a keeper for me. When I was reading the crappy book, sometimes I'll just pick up like a book that I really loved just to have some good fiction before I go to bed. It's pretty terrible. And I'm also reading a pretty good romance. I don't generally read romance at all. This one just happened to be one, and I didn't realize it. It's Rebecca Yarros in The Likely Event, and she does a really good job with the attraction and the romance in the book. So Liz, your plotting session and chart has helped me immensely. I've watched 10 times or more. My story no longer feels like a random patchwork quilt, although those are beautiful. I'm so glad to hear that. Really glad to hear that because that's kind of what I want to do is make it easier for everybody. And so I appreciate that, Liz. I'm so glad. And When the World Went Silent, Cheryl said was awesome too. Is that also by Ariel Lahan? Lahan? How do you say her name? I don't even know how to say her name. I don't think she's on this stream, so I think it's okay. I've got another one called When We Had Wings, I think. It is one written by her and three other authors. It sounds good. Character's biggest fears, Liz says, are learning about her absent father's family, leaving a high power job, relationships. And yeah, well, not necessarily to fear learning about her absent father's family, but maybe learning why they rejected her or him, maybe why they're not in her life. Because fears are like fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, like Jenny's talking about there, fear of not being safe, fear of those kinds of things that all of us are driven by. Like we're all driven by some kind of a fear that makes us choose the things that we choose. Sometimes those are good choices, sometimes those are bad choices. So I think a lot of people, Jenny, fear abandonment. I've read a lot of books on abandonment and attachment issues, and it's really interesting to see how people get there, why they deal with things that way, and what goes through them psychologically when they're like that. And I would say that a lot of my characters end up dealing with that too. It's like I work out my own psychological issues on the page. So it's pretty good. All right, let's do another session, another 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and I'll answer any questions that you have. See you in 15. Okay, another 15-minute sprint. And yes, Cheryl, that is Donna's book. It's sitting on my nightstand. I totally forgot. Yeah, Donna's book was really, really cool. She's got another one coming out about the Titanic, and I love everything Titanic, so I'm excited for that one. Her book's done really, really well too. So I saw on the cover of The Frozen River that Ariel Lawhon has done one called I Was Anastasia, and I think I might have read that a long time ago. I'm not sure. I've actually had to start using one of those apps to sort of keep track of what I'm reading, and then I forget to put in there that I've read them. That way I don't buy the same book twice because that's happened a few times. Because I'll forget that I read it sometimes almost as soon as I finished it if it's not like a really, really good book that I end up talking about on the channel. And then because I just move on to the next one, I've got so many that I want to read and I read them really fast. So how is the writing going for you guys this time? We haven't had these as regularly as we used to, and I apologize for that. I'm really, really happy to be back here doing them again because I have missed them as much as you guys have. And those little bursts that I'm doing each day, I am trying to write every single weekday um, in the mornings before I start getting too wrapped up into work. So I'm getting at least an hour in there. Lisa Unger said that she tries to write for 90 minutes to 3 hours, but that is her full time job. So my full time job is my company. So I get like maybe an hour in the day. Jenny asked, do I have any tropes that I don't like? I have some that I think are not really believable, like the billionaire and the virgin kind of thing. Like really. But I think you can make anything work if you make it really well motivated. So I like to see a twist on one. Like if it's the billionaire and the virgin and it's a cliche and he's of course got zillions of dollars and she's like 25 in a perfect body and never been with a man, like that just annoys me. But if you can find a reason, a really good motivation for why she's where she's at and why he's where he's at and why he would be attracted to her, that has nothing to do with the icky because she's a virgin thing, then I think you can make it work. So you really can make any trope work, personally. And Heather, these weekly sprints help me get back on track with writing a few times a week, aiming toward daily. That's awesome. Because that's what I want to definitely do too. I'm finding that I'm enjoying it. And I've just got to start thinking about my book a little bit more too in the ground, like of my day, so that, or at the end of the day or something, so that I have something in front of me when I get to work. I think you guys might have seen the short that I did where I was like, I don't even know where my note is. So I've got to take this little notebook that's been sitting in my office and bring it into my bedroom because a lot of times when the day is quiet and I don't have any noise or TV to distract me, I start thinking about the book. And that's when I can start figuring things out. Like the scene that I'm working on right now, I don't know that I'll get much more done during this sprint because I'm kind of stuck on where it's going. And while I love sprinting for 15 minutes, if I don't have a plan in place, then I just kind of spin my wheels. Silver Ollie doing 3 stories a day challenge, up to 27 short children's stories. That's awesome. That's a lot. It's a lot of stories to think of. Everybody thinks that children's stories don't take that much time, and they are shorter, yes, but they still have goal, motivation, conflict, and all of those things in there. So yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of work. I have a friend that does Inktober, I think it is. He's a cartoonist and he does an ink drawing every single day, or maybe there's 2 a day during October. It's kind of cool to see what he does. Jenny says, I like that point of view. I've seen many advice that you should never write this or that, and it always makes me think that why not? Yes, you can literally make anything work with the right motivation. And sometimes that can make your book super unique because you're using that one trope or that one plot device that everybody's like, that's never going to work. But when you do it and you do it in a unique way by coming up with really strong motivations for it, then it's believable and it works. And I think it works really cool that way. All right, let's try to fit in one more sprint. Let's do a 10-minute one before 5 because my husband and I are going out tonight, so can't stay past 5. But let's do one more and be back in 10 minutes. okay, I got a little bit more done, but now I'm kind of at an impasse. So I'm definitely going to have to think about the book over the weekend so that I come back to it with some fresh eyes on Monday. Hey, Heather, you're coming right at the very end. Sorry. We just finished an hour of doing little sprints. We do these pretty much every Friday. I'm almost always here on Fridays lately. And we sprint for 15 minutes at a time or 10 minutes at a time. And we just did our last 10-minute one. And NBR, welcome to you too. I'm sorry you guys are coming right at the end. Silver Alley, you did great today. Another 101 words. I got sort of a scene mapped out and then realized I needed to add to another scene. And so I've got to go back and think a little bit about what I'm going to do with this plot, because I need to, it's a suspense. So there's a lot more moving parts to it. And so I've got to figure out a bunch of things before I go any further. I'm kind of at that point where I've got to fill out all the worksheets that I tell you guys to do, or at least start thinking about all of those issues so that I can get a little bit deeper into these characters the next time I come back to them, which will probably be Tuesday. Because it's a holiday weekend, I'm going to be working outside most of the yard. I don't know if I'll have a video on Monday or maybe Tuesday this week because of the holiday. And nice. Thank you very much, Heather. Nice to see you. And I appreciate that you like the stream. And yeah, everybody, half a mo would tell me to remind you to like and subscribe and all of those things to help the algorithm so that people find the videos. So if you like my regular videos or my shorts or the streams or whatever, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, whatever, so that the algorithm brings that content to more writers. Because I really want more great books like this one to talk about on the channel because I think you guys can do it. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend and get a lot of writing done. And we will be back next Friday. So have a great weekend, you guys.